From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Afternoon Edition.
And right now in the Afternoon Edition, wild swings on Wall Street. So what's behind the steep sell-off? Good afternoon, I'm Ryan Yamamoto. It's another roller coaster day for the markets as President Trump intensifies the trade war with Canada. Let's look at the live big board right now. The Dow had dipped as low as 700 points this morning, but this afternoon having a bit of a rebound and rally. You can see it's now down only about 157 points. Once again, the Dow was down more than 400 points, up to 700 points. The Nasdaq and S&P 500 are back into the green right now. The volatility comes as President Trump announced new tariffs on Canada he says could take effect as soon as tomorrow. Natalie Brand has the latest from the White House.
Stocks fell further at the start of trading Tuesday following Monday's sell-off, Wall Street's worst day so far this year.
On again, off again tariffs, retaliations, cuts at the government, and it is making people feel concerned enough that we could see the economy slow down.
As the White House downplays concerns over the market, President Trump raised the stakes Tuesday. He announced on social media he's doubling the tariff set to take effect tomorrow on Canadian steel and aluminum coming into the U.S. It will now be 50%. That's in response to Ontario's 25% retaliatory tax on electricity exports to the U.S. U.S. farmers and grocers describe a roller coaster as they brace for tariff impacts. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins acknowledged the concern.
Secretary, what's your message to farmers worried about tariffs, retaliatory tariffs, and the uncertainty?
The uncertainty is real, and the farmers and our ranchers are concerned. It's going to be a little bit bumpy for, maybe a few weeks or a few months. But at the end, his vision, and again, what we're effectuating, is that our American farmers and ranchers, but truly all Americans, will be moving into an era of greater prosperity.
On Capitol Hill, lawmakers are trying to head off a partial government shutdown at the end of the week. Vice President J.D. Vance headed there this morning ahead of a critical House vote on a stopgap budget measure.
This clean CR contains no poison pill riders, no policy riders there at all, no cuts to Medicare, Medicaid, or Social Security, zero.
But with one GOP hardliner, Kentucky's Thomas Massie, already saying he's a no, the White House confirmed President Trump is making phone calls to potential holdouts.
Well, President Trump lashed out on social media against Massie, saying he should be primaried and that the president will lead that charge. Tesla's in hot water because of Elon Musk politics. His ties to President Trump and far-right views are sparking protests. A stock drop of more than 47%. Even vandalism targeting Tesla owners and dealerships. Some loyal customers are walking away from the brand while others are debating whether to stick around.
Yeah, I was a big believer. I felt like this is somebody who cares and a company that's doing, cool things. And just within an election cycle, it all kind of turned on its head.
Experts warn that if Musk does not shift focus back to Tesla, the brand could face long-term damage. Developing story out of Washington, D.C., where the NTSB is releasing findings into the mid-air crash that killed 67 people in January. They're now recommending permanent changes after finding thousands of incidences where planes were flying as close as 75 feet apart since 2021. NTSB officials are asking for helicopters to be banned from flying in a 4-mile stretch over the Potomac River when flights are landing on one of the runways at Reagan National Airport. They still have not released the cause of the crash. In California, former Democratic Congresswoman Katie Porter is entering the governor's race. The Orange County Lieutenant Governor, that includes current Lieutenant Governor Alina Konalakis. They are vying to succeed Gavin Newsom, who is getting termed out. Former Vice President Kamala Harris is expected to announce by the end of summer whether she will run. California has never had a woman governor. Candidates hoping to become Oakland's next mayor will face off in a debate tonight. It will take place at the Oakland Museum of California. Leading candidates Barbara Lee and Lauren Taylor are expected to attend. It starts at 6 tonight. The special election is set for April 15th. And the public health official who guided the South Bay through the COVID-19 pandemic announced her retirement today, 5 years after the World Health Organization declared the pandemic. Dr. Sarah Cody served as the county's health officer for the past 12 years. She issued the nation's first stay-at-home order in 2020 after the first deaths were reported in the South Bay. Dr. Cody says now is the right time to pass the baton to the next set of public health leaders. Her retirement is effective in April. Okay, first alert weather right now. We give you a live look outside of San Francisco. One more day of sun before a storm moves in. Let's check in with Zoe Mintz. Hey, Zoe.
Hey, you can see a little bit of that haze, that marine layer sitting in the distance, but the Golden Gate filled with plenty of sunshine, and most of the Bay Area is filled with plenty of sunshine today. You can see the Zor view from the top of Mount Diablo. A little bit of haze out there, but hey, still beautiful. I highly suggest you enjoy today because it's going to be a lot more active by tomorrow. This camera is going to look significantly different just 24 hours from now. So enjoy the upper 50s to low 60s right now. We'll be in the mid to lower 60s all across the Bay Area this afternoon, as right now we're in between storm systems. So there is still plenty of sunshine. Just a little bit of those coastal clouds holding on tight, as there is a storm system well to our south. It's impacting Southern California right now, but that's not the big issue that we're concerned about. It's this storm system. It's technically an atmospheric river that's going to continue to push south over the next 24 to 48 hours. And as it does so, it's going to be packing a punch, bringing us some very gusty winds and some heavy downpours. I'll break down the exact details on when you'll need to grab an umbrella and when you'll probably not want to step outside. That'll be coming up in just a bit. Back to you.
Well, the VTA strike has entered its second day, leaving tens of thousands of riders stuck finding new ways to get around Santa Clara County.
Your ATU and we move this county!
1,500 employees are on the picket lines putting the brakes on light rail and bus service in the South Bay. The workers' contract expired a week ago. The union says VTA's offer of a 9% pay raise over 3 years is not enough.
This is not only about wages. This is about our contract, our protections, our right to due process that we've had historically in our contract here and in many places in the ATU.
VTA says giving union drivers the raise that they want would cripple the system, resulting in service and job cuts. It is unclear how long the strike is going to last. There's no new contract talks scheduled right now between drivers' union and VTA. Happening now, the Alameda County Board of Supervisors are meeting to talk about the sale of the Oakland Coliseum. That vote was stalled last Thursday after supervisors requested additional documents from the African American Sports and Entertainment Group. Those documents arrived Friday, clearing the way for a decision. A last-minute legal challenge over plans to close the Great Highway and turn it into Oceanfront Park. Voters passed Proposition K back in November to permanently close the Upper Great Highway. Today, opponents of the park announced they are suing the city. They claim the proposition violates state law. The group Friends of Ocean Beach Park, who supported the proposition, released a statement calling the lawsuit an attempt to overturn the will of San Franciscans. The Great Highway closes to cars for good on Friday. The park is set to open on April 12th. Still ahead of noon and streaming on CBS News Bay Area. If you want to get away, Southwest is getting rid of its free check bag policy for passengers. How you can still qualify for that long-standing perk. Plus, running a business is hard work. Coming up, how a South Bay program is helping women entrepreneurs take care of both their businesses and their spirits. Well, a new report reveals most of the world's air is dangerously dirty. Only 17% of cities are meeting air pollution guidelines set by the World Health Organization. The report is from IQ Air in Switzerland. They analyzed data from 40,000 air quality monitoring stations around the world last year. They found the dirtiest air in Pakistan, India, Chad, Congo, and Bangladesh. The most polluted major U.S. cities was Los Angeles. Seattle was the cleanest. Okay, back to our first alert weather right now. Let's give you a live look outside from our Black Mountain camera. You can see mostly clear outside, maybe a little haze, but hey, that's about to change. Let's check back in with meteorologist Zoe Mintz.
Yeah, things are going to take a very sharp turn towards the wet side of things as an atmospheric river is quickly approaching. Today, though, I hope you have the chance to get out and soak up the last little bit of sunshine and quiet, calm conditions that we'll see at least for the next week. Temperatures this afternoon are going to be sitting in the seasonable category, especially closer to the coast, low 60s to upper 50s. That's normal for this time of year. Just a couple of degrees cooler than yesterday, upper 60s for our more inland locations. maybe a degree or two above average, but either way, again, it is going to be lovely out there today, and enjoy the seasonable conditions while they last, because a big cold front, a cool down, and a lot of rain, windy conditions all on the way into tomorrow, as we are going to be seeing this atmospheric river quickly approaching, impacting the Pacific Northwest and Northern California first, and then packing quite the punch across the Bay Area by tomorrow afternoon. So let's break down the details on the exact timing of that upcoming system and exactly when you'll want to grab an umbrella and when you'll probably want to stay indoors, because again today, get outside, soak up the sunshine, because clouds are quickly approaching and they will continue to get thicker and thicker overnight. You might see a little bit of rain waking up very early tomorrow morning, with a few more showers into the later morning hours, but it's not until the early afternoon that the heaviest line of rain will arrive. And this line of rain is what we're concerned about when it comes to the gusty winds, upwards of 50 miles an hour, some heavier downpours likely as well. This is going to be a quick mover though, again arriving between maybe 1 and 3 and already out of our hair by around 8 o'clock. So late evening hours are going to be pretty dry, not to say an isolated shower or two won't linger about into the early morning hours on Thursday. Significantly drier though Thursday afternoon. As we step out into Friday though, another storm system will be heading our way. So this is just the first in a series of storms, but likely is going to be the strongest, as those winds tomorrow afternoon again are going to be significantly higher than today, upwards of 45 to 55 miles an hour as that frontal boundary moves through. But again, it will be a quick mover. Even in locations could see those 50+ mile an hour gusts. And then it will be out of our hair into Thursday. Again, the first in a series of storm systems that's going to arrive. You'll notice in the distance that our next storm system that's going to be packing a punch into Friday. All things we'll keep a very close eye on over the next 7 days. It's kind of going to be an every other day scenario. Wednesday, that heavy rain, brief break into Thursday, heavier rain Friday, brief break into Saturday, heavier rain Sunday and into Monday. So yes, this active weather pattern is sticking around even into next week. So again, I highly suggest you enjoy today. You enjoy the warmest day out of the next 7 before that active pattern officially arrives into early tomorrow. Back to you.
Well, all month long, we're celebrating women's history and empowerment. Today, we're highlighting 2 sisters starting up their own beauty shop in San Jose. They had their hair and makeup perfected, but didn't have the business know-how. Arlen Ramirez shows us how these 2 sisters brush up their skills, all thanks to a local nonprofit.
Welcome to K&K Visage.
At KK Visage in San Jose, sisters Carla and Kenya are doing a beauty shop their way. That means clients can get the works all at once.
We are one of the few salons that can do this.
While Carla applies the makeup,
working together. So
Kenya styles the hair. Their unique approach comes from a sisterly bond and a life story of always sticking together. And in this business, it helps to get birthday girls to the ball and brides to the altar on time.
Our clients are ready within an hour.
The sisters went into business together with a dream, but not a lot of long-range planning. In fact, they started out of Kenya's car.
She didn't know how to drive, so I was the Uber, and I had to take her to every appointment. So I waited in the car like 1 hour or 2, and then she's like, you should join me and start doing hairstyles. And that's how I started. We were traveling from place to place for our appointments since we didn't have a place. And at some point, we did not have a car, so we would even take the bus to our appointments. We even had clients pick us up because they offered.
It seemed like they were hitting the fast lane. They moved into this brick and mortar on Santa Clara Street. Then the pandemic hit.
It's been hard sometimes because not all the time we were booked.
Through scary times and hard work, the shop survived. But then they seemed to hit a wall.
I think we hit a point where we were stuck. We didn't know how to grow from here.
Then they heard about a special business program for women entrepreneurs called Motivate, Educate, and Empower, better known as the ME program. It goes beyond traditional business mentoring.
A holistic approach, how to keep yourself healthier, how to balance your work life.
It's part of the Prosperity Lab for small businesses, but this one focused on the unique post-pandemic challenges faced by females.
We had women calling that were trying to run their business and have their kids going to school in the same room. So, you had women trying to do a retail shop, a tailor shop, a store, while also trying to raise the children. And most of them, even though we have moms and dads, most of them fell to women.
Carla and Kenya were part of the first cohort and graduated out of the program in December.
The ME program taught us that you have to be okay personally in order for your business to grow.
And they're taking the lessons learned and playing it forward, but still keeping it in the family by helping their mother, who's an event planner, and their little sister, who makes and sells her own custom jewelry.
When our clients sit in our chair, they get a boost of confidence because they feel like the best versions of themselves, and that's where our work pays off.
They've realized that they don't have to do it all alone, and that there is strength and wisdom in seeking helping hands.
Well, if you're planning to fly Southwest this summer, you may have to add some money to your budget. Coming up, the changes the airline is making to one of its signature perks and when you can expect to pay more. Well, it's the end of an era at Southwest Airlines. Today, they announced they will start charging for flyers' first and second checked bags. The changes go into effect May 28th, but not for everyone. Members of Southwest's A-List loyalty program and people paying business fares will get 2 free checked bags. Passengers say they are not thrilled by that change.
1, it doesn't surprise me. 2, I think it's going to impact those flyers who don't have a lot of funds, who travel Southwest because it's economical. And so it really is sad that they would be doing this.
They have not said how much they will charge for bags, but did say it will be competitive with other airlines, meaning it will be expensive. NBA star Steph Curry is taking a new role, and it's not with the Warriors. He's going to be the assistant general manager of basketball at his alma mater, Davidson College. Davidson said in a statement it is an advisory role, and Curry will share his experience with both the men's and women's basketball programs at the North Carolina school. Curry played for Davidson for 3 seasons between 2006 and 2009. Well, all started with a horse 130 years ago. Coming up, a special anniversary in the city of San Francisco. Well, finally today at noon, city leaders celebrating 130 years of ambulance services in San Francisco. At today's ceremony, Mayor Lurie said it all started with the donation of a horse-drawn ambulance. Now, more than a century late, there are hundreds of first responders working in the service as part of the city's fire department. That's it for the afternoon edition. Remember, we're streaming 24/7 on the free CBS News app. Our next newscast is at 5 o'clock. I'll see you back then. And meantime, have a great afternoon.